Okay. So we talked about some of like the bad things that happened during the pandemic. Let's talk about some of the good stuff. You talked about travel not being as delightful, but let's talk about when it is delightful. Like, what are some things you really love about this role and being a CRA?
Um,
What are the delights? Let's go with that.
the delights. Okay. So the CRA delights. I really like going to new institutions. Like, for instance, like when I was up in Boston, I thought Mass General was like the coolest hospital I've ever been to. It was like Hollywood-esque. It was like you're in a movie. So many people like moving around, all the hustle and bustle,
Wait, is
and
that
it's
Harvard?
yeah, they're associated with Harvard.
Oh, got you. Okay,
Yeah,
Mass Gen. Yeah.
so affiliated with them. Um, Yeah, it was a really cool experience. I like that. I like seeing and taking in different clinical research offices and see how they present themselves and how they organize themselves, how their actual offices are set up, because some can be so makeshift. It can literally just be like two rooms.
Yep.
They're like, here's our office.
Yep.
And some are just like so well planned out that it's like they literally have thought of everything. They've thought of every little pain point, every issue you can run into, and they've developed themselves into like a legitimate clinical research organization. So, for instance, I have one down in Miami, and they are like creme de la creme. They're amazing, and they have like every single thing you can think of. They really took their time in developing this place, and it's a pleasure to work there. But then you also have places that are just like, you know, you can tell they don't really care, and they don't really have a pharmacy. They just have a room where they throw the drug in. They
Uh
don't
huh.
really have like staff that are passionate. So it's kind of intriguing to see how everyone, operates. That's been really fun. Also seeing new cities that maybe you wouldn't go out of your way to see. Like for instance, I went to Little Rock, Arkansas, which is a
Hey,
pretty
I went there too. I thought it was
very
cool.
historic
I thought it
city.
was cool.
I did think it was cool, but would I have like really gone on my way to go on vacation there? Probably
Hell
not.
no. Hell
But
no.
this job has forced me to go to a lot of places that I never would have like, dabbled with, like Lake Charles, Louisiana. It's a beautiful little place. It's very cool, great seafood. Never knew about it until I became a CRA. So
Right.
there are some like gems, like a lot of Easter eggs in this career. And I may have been a little negative talking about like traveling not be amazing right now, but like the planes used to be like used to feel like a king.
Yeah.
And now with COVID, it's dwindled down a lot. Like the service and everything's dwindled, and I understand why, but it's just it used to be like so fun. Like, oh, I can't wait to get first class in this flight. Like I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna drink, they're gonna force feed me drinks, like you know.
I guess it did kind of used to
So
be like that.
yeah, it did, and now it's definitely toned down a bit, and I think it's hilarious because as soon as they lift everything, it's back to normal. These flight attendants are gonna be like, "Damn, I actually have to like work now."
Yep. Yep. And probably people are gonna be really rowdy and rambunctious and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay, yeah, I definitely like that you talked about the cities that you wouldn't necessarily go to because, yeah, that is a real gem. Because we've all been there. I went to Little Rock once. That was my first time. My thing is scooters. I get on the scooters and I ride around and go explore the new cities or whatever.
yeah,
I stayed actually stayed downtown Little Rock and went to the Bill Clinton library. The Clinton Library
okay,
is down there. It's right down the street.
yeah,
I didn't get to go inside because it was closed due to COVID, but hung out around there. And yeah, I liked Little Rock. That was a cool little
yeah.
city. And I'm going to Omaha, Nebraska next week for the first time. So
Oh,
Nebraska,
that's
that'll be
random.
it's very random.
Probably have great corn items.
I hope so. I hope
Maybe
so.
some potatoes. I don't know. I think
Maybe
potatoes are out there. It's not
definitely
Idaho, but
corn. Definitely corn.
yeah, the corn huskers, the Nebraska Huskers. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So that'll be cool. Yeah, that's a really good point.
yeah. I think it's healthy too. I think like, if you get into that mindset that your trips are only work, that also contributes to burnout. So I think it is important, like when you get into a city, if you don't have anything pressing that you can maybe take care of later, go out, get some sunshine, get some food, take a walk, explore. Because I definitely have gotten in some times where I have just completely neglected the city I'm in because I
Mm,
have work to do that doesn't have to necessarily be done that day, but I just felt like grinding it out.
hmm.
And it kind of gets you in like a funky headspace. I think it's good to get out there and explore, see something new, and stay refreshed.
You have to. You have to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can. You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna be doing this a long time if all you're doing is work in every city.
exactly.
Okay, but how do you do that? Like, does your manager really supportive of that? Like, how do you make sure that you can actually do that?
Yeah, your manager is a big dynamic of it all. But I think you just need to realize if you're hitting your metrics, if you're achieving what needs to be done, if you're on top of things, you owe it to yourself to make time for yourself when you are traveling. And if you are falling behind and whatnot, okay, well, don't go explore the whole day. Go out and take a walk, refresh your head, get some food, come back, and then knock your workout. But I just think people sometimes just get into the hotel, open their computer, start looking at emails, and they get lost in it. And like 3 hours
Yep,
later, it's already dark out because I've been that person.
I've done that before too.
And it's just not healthy. Like you literally just burn yourself out that way. I really think that's like the biggest way people get into this like rat race mentality. And if you get into a company where you feel like you have to like overwork yourself to get promoted, I don't think that company's worth it. I don't think that's how it should work. I think you should try to be in a community where they promote internally, they foster that mentality, and they talk about it voluntarily. Because if you have to only advocate for yourself, that can be really exhausting too.
Yeah,
So I'm not saying you don't need to market yourself, because you do. You have to show that you are worth it, because they're not going to see every little thing. They tend to see more of your blemishes than your achievements.
especially
Just
when
that's
they.
how it
You're right.
works.
Especially when they just focusing on metrics, right?
Yeah.
Because they just
So
looking
they
at you on
see
a
that.
spreadsheet.
Yeah, exactly. So they, especially if you're in a massive company, if they see like you missed something at one point, that's going to overshadow all of the times you were on time and that you exceeded the expectations. So I think another attribute of burnout comes from not being appreciated in your company. So if you ever feel that way, honestly, like I'd say jump ship. Um, it's on you to establish your community, but if you've tried and you feel like you're not like finding your place within it, then I say jump ship. That's why everyone does in this industry, because it's not frowned upon. It's like I just think it's built this way
Yep.
unintentionally, and you need to look out for yourself sometimes.
Yep.